So we're doing this for EPK, and then we're going to change the tape and do a short thing for ET.
Oh, good. I love E.T.
Okay.
Okay.
So, ready, guys?
Whenever Eric's ready, I'm ready.
Sounds good.
Camera's moving.
Okay. So we're here with Megan Fox. Tell us about your character, Lily.
Well, Lily is, she was an orphan, and it's never really, the script in the movie never really explains where she comes from. But she's adopted by, or taken in by, this man, Sam, who runs a circus. And when she goes through puberty, she grows wings, she sprouts wings. And she becomes part of his circus act. She's like a bird woman, and she's very sort of sheltered and vulnerable, and she ends up falling in love with the Nate character, who is sort of, in a sense, her savior in a lot of ways.
Do you want one sleeve up like you
Yeah,
have in the other one?
fuck
Okay.
yeah, I do.
Okay.
This is the style.
Okay.
I'm bringing this style.
How is Lily like you, and how is Lily not?
Lily is, it's a good question, because I sit around and I do try to analyze myself all the time, but I don't know if I have a really good perception of how I actually am. I mean, I feel like I can be really vulnerable also, and I can sort of, I feel like I've been raised, I spent my entire adult life in a relationship with someone who sort of has protected me and raised me not at all in a similar way, clearly, but I still feel really sheltered, even though I've seen all the things that I've seen and done all the things that I've done. I still feel childlike sometimes, and I feel like that's a quality that she has.
You are best known for your very successful Transformers
Yes,
action
I am.
movies.
Thank you.
This is very different. Was that the appeal?
Sure. I mean, I think the appeal was I read a script that was beautiful and it made me cry. And I sat down and I read it in like 45 minutes, and I never do that. I always end up putting scripts down and playing with my animals or running errands or watching Bridezillas or doing something that takes me away from the script. And with this, I didn't do that. I sat down and I read it, and I read it over and over again. And everybody that I gave it to did the same thing. And everybody was in love with it. It's it's romantic, and it feels like something that we haven't seen in a really long time in cinema. And that was the appeal. Not necessarily because it was different from Transformers.
So in a nutshell, what would you say this movie is about?
I guess this movie is about love and loss and sacrifice and selflessness and angst and confusion and pain and redemption and rebirth. God.
Do you think that there's an underlying theme?
All of those things I just said.
Excuse me, Wolf.
Yep.
Paris, please.
You're playing a girl with wings
Mm-hmm.
who has a very human reaction to the wings,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't she? I mean,
Sure.
she's ashamed.
Yeah. Yes, she is ashamed, embarrassed, resentful, I think. I feel like sometimes what you become known for, speaking for, I want to bring fame into this, you tend to be the most self-conscious about the things that maybe you're typically the most praised for. And if she's always been worshipped, or all the attention she's had has been because of her wings, I would imagine that she would be self-conscious of them the way that I am of certain things, the way that people are.
What were the wings like? What were they made of? Were they heavy?
No, they weren't heavy at all. I mean, there are several different sets of wings. There's a furled wing look, which is It's basically like a nub with a few feathers on it. There's just a basic like foam one that they put under my wardrobe for most of the movie to create a hump in my back. And then there are the full wings that the puppeteers operate, and those are made out of feathers. I mean, I don't know what kind of feathers, if they're real bird feathers. Nobody actually explained that to me, and I didn't ask, but they look to me like hawk feathers. I don't know what they are.
What was the hardest part of playing Lily?
I think for me, just the hardest part of playing any character is getting past my own nerves and my own self-doubt and committing to it and not being afraid to fail or, do something wrong or not connect it's just an actor thing, just being self-conscious or insecure. That's the hardest part about playing any character. Her specifically, her edge is completely different from most of the characters that I've played in the way that I get cast. I usually get cast as, a bitch or, a badass or a man-eater or things like this. And she's innocent and pure, and it's different than anything I've done before.
Was there any particular scene that you stressed over?
All of them. Anytime I'm on camera with Mickey, I would get stressed because he's amazing. So that's intimidating. Being in scenes with people like that who are so gifted naturally, that don't have to work at it. He was just born with that.
What was your collaboration with him like? He said that you were fairly private and that, you guys didn't hang out and party.
No, I'm not a big partier, but he's been really respectful of my space, and Mickey's actually, it's funny that he says that about me because I think he's really private, and he, is really supportive of me, and in the scenes with me and off camera, he always gives me, in particular, I've noticed, 100% when he's off camera, which is amazing, and most actors don't do that for you because they don't have to, because it kills you to give that much of yourself away, take after take after take, and after he's got his coverage, for him to still turn around and give that to me so that I can connect to him is it's really gracious and amazing for someone that's established the way that he is to do that.
This movie seems to be moving pretty quickly, not that many takes.
Yeah. Well, have you been on set lately?
The days I've been on
Yes.
set, it's been moving pretty fast.
Okay.
How many takes do you like to do?
I like to do it until I've got it, and sometimes I don't think I ever have it, so it really shouldn't be up to me how many takes we do. Obviously, doing 2 and 3 takes there's a sense of relief to that because you get through your days, and everyone seems to be happy, but there's always that worry that how could we possibly have gotten it after 3 takes. Mickey has a take 1, but I'm not as lucky, so I get worried.
So do you see this as a drama, a romance, a thriller?
I think this is a modern film noir. It's a romance, and it's a tragedy, and it's a lot of different things. I don't really know how to categorize it or what to name it, what genre to put it in. It's beautiful.
Modern film noir is perfect. And the time and place in which it's set seems to be somewhat vague, kind of a dream time.
Yeah, it's vaguely period, but not modern. There is no distinguishable. It is dreamlike, which clearly is the point of the movie.
Have any other films been reference points for you in kind of conceptualizing this one, like LA Confidential or Carney or Heaven Can Wait, anything like that?
No.
You've got some outrageous costumes in this movie, ranging from the Armani gowns to a scene where you stand in a glass cage, hardly dressed. Did you balk at that? Did you have concerns? Was it hard?
No. I mean, concerns what, being barely clothed? No.
You
It's
were
part of my job. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I don't guess it's fun for most people, but it's part of the scene, and it there's nothing in this movie that's gratuitous, so I had no concerns about that, no. My costumes really aren't that outrageous. White pants in the desert, that's pretty outrageous.
Were you involved in the selection of the costumes at all? Because Armani didn't.
They did. They sent a vintage gown for me to wear for the gala scene, which was gorgeous. And I don't know if we actually get to see too much of it in the movie, but they sent that. They designed some lingerie for a scene that I'm doing. I personally am not one of those actors that's really involved in setting their look that needs the makeup to be a certain way or the hair to be a certain way. That's not my profession. I'm not trained, so I don't feel like it's my job to step in and tell people what to do. So I just sort of let them, whatever their vision is for something, I let them take it. Like, the most control I have in something is I'll try on like 4 different pairs of panties, and whichever one looks best on my bummy, that's the one I'm going with.
Tell us about the scene you're doing today in the mansion.
Well, it's a short scene. It's my last scene of the movie that I'm filming. It's with Bill, and the character of Sam comes in, and he's gonna take me back. He's gonna take me back because I'm this possession for him to have. And Happy, Bill Murray's character, walks in, finds us, becomes unhappy, and shoots Sam. And in the process of the hysteria, I end up getting pistol whipped, and that's really the entirety of the scene.
Your character is involved with both Nate, Mickey Rourke's character, and Happy, Bill Murray's character. How did you view her willingness to go be with Happy?
Well, I think a part of her, I mean, she never felt like she deserved to be with Nate. Like, she never felt like she deserved that kind of love, or that anyone would possibly have some sort of selfless attraction and love for her, because she's only ever been a possession, and she's only ever been an object. And so I think she was expecting for that to happen, and so there's a resignation that exists there, and a settling that happens. But she loves Nate, and it's hard to not be with him. I'm gonna cry right now talking about it. It's hard for her to not be with him.
So it's your last day. When you look back on the experience of making Passion Play, what are you going to think about?
That's a really obscure, broad question for me to try to answer. I don't know. I mean, I think that just the fact that I was lucky enough to be able to work with people like Mickey Rourke and Bill and all the actors in this movie who are so talented is a blessing for me. And I don't know why Mitch had me in mind for this and why Mitch had faith in me to do this, but I just feel really lucky, and those are just experiences that not everybody gets to have, and that I never thought that I would be able to have, so I'll remember those.
Okay,